everybody, I'm Nithin, and today in this PSLE 2016 Paper 2 question series, I'll be going through question 11. In my channel, I aim to help all of you master all those concepts out there, okay? So let's jump straight into question 11. So this is question 11, okay? So this question for part A, it is testing us on comparison. And this question has two parts, part A and part B, okay? And so let's read the question first. 4 teams of students wash cars for charity. They collected $10 for washing a small car and $15 for a big car. The table shows the number of cars washed by the 3 of the teams. So the table shows only the 3 teams, not the 4th team, okay? Part A. Which of the 3 teams collected the most money? What was the amount of money? So they are asking us to compare for only these 3 teams, not the 4th team, because we do not know that. So let's highlight the key information now. So 4 teams of students washed cars for charity. They collected $10 for washing a small car and $15 for a big car. Okay? The table shows the number of cars washed by 3 of the teams. So which of the 3 teams collected the most money? What was the amount of money? So they're asking the team and the amount of money. So we know that $10 is for a small car. So let's write that down. So the small car, it is $10. For the big car, it is $15. Okay. So we should find the amount of money collected by each of the team. So let's find for team A first. So team A is 15 small, so 15 times $10 plus 5 times $15 because there's 5 big. Okay, so this is what we do to find the cost of the money collected for team A. So it is $225. We do the same for team B. So 11 small cars, so 11 times $10 plus 9 big cars, which are 9 times $15. Okay, so we do that for team B as well. So it is 11 times 10 plus 9 times 15, which is $245. So for team C, okay, so we take 8 over here times $10, okay, because 8 small times 10, then plus 10 big times $15, which will give us $230. Now we just need to compare which is a bigger number. So for team A, 225, for team B, 245, for team C, 230. So we all know that team B is the most amount of money. So team B should be the answer, right? Because team B is more than team C and more than team A. So team B collected the most amount of money. So the answer is team B. And the amount of money is $245. Okay. So this is the answer. So now that we are done with part A, let's move on to part B. So this is part B. So let me just highlight the key information really fast. So they collected $10 for washing a small car and $15 for a big car. The table shows the number of cars. Okay, so now in part B, they are telling us that team D washed as many cars as team A. Okay, some students do not understand what does as many as team A mean. So this is basically same as team A. Okay, so this is what it means. But collected $30 more. So team D washed the same number of cars as team A, but they collected $30 more. So they are asking us how many big cars did team D wash. Okay, so in order to solve this question, we need to use the assumption method. Okay, for some of you, right, you guys use the guess and check method, and I think that is not an efficient way to solve it. So I'll be teaching you this method called assumption method. or supposition method. So let us recall the amounts of money collected by team A, B, and C. So team A collected $225, team B collected $245, and team C collected $230. So let me write it down again. So the small, washing each small is $10, and washing each big is $15. Okay, so now that we have written that, now let's move on to assumption method. Okay, so assumption method, what we basically do is, over here, let me write it. So first we assume all of them are small or big cars. But since they are asking us big cars, we always should assume the opposite of that, because in the end we will get the opposite. So we should assume all of them are small. Okay, so we do not know what does team D, how many small cars plus how many big cars, so we do not know that. But we know that it is $225 plus $30, right? So it should be $255. So $255 should be the actual amount that team D collected. So keep in mind. Okay, now is where we go into assumption. So like I put over here, assume all of them are small. So assume all are small cars. So what we do, it is that team A has how many big cars and how many small cars? Team A has 15 small and 5 big. So how many cars does that make? Let me write it here. So I assume you do not need this. So let me write 15 plus 5 equals to 20 cars. So there are 20 cars. So in order to find 20 cars, right, when we assume all are small cars, so they are basically 20 small cars times $10, okay, which will give us $200. Now that we have $200, we should find the big difference. Okay, the big difference is $255. The actual amount is supposed to be $255, but we only have $200, so we should take the big difference, which is 200. So in order to find the big difference, we should take 255 minus 200. Okay, this is the first attempt to make it into 255, but it's not 255. That is why we minus it, which will give us $55. Now we find the small difference. We take $15 minus $10 equals $5. So the $15 in the big and the $5 and the $10 in the small, we just minus it, and that will give us the small difference, which is $5. So when we have big difference and small difference, we take the big difference divided by the small difference, which will give us 55 divided by 5, which is 11. That is the answer. And this is the methodology to follow. Okay, so this is how you should follow it. So any type of question, you just follow this type. So assume all are small, big difference, small difference. Then you take big difference divided by small difference. And like I said, you do not need to do anything to this, because at the start we already assume all are small cars. Okay, so I've told you, when we assume the opposite of what they are asking in the start, it will give us the opposite of what we assumed in the start. So this is basically the big cars, not the small. So if we assume the big cars are over here, we need to do an extra step, which is 20 minus 11, but it's wrong already. Okay, if we assume the big cars over here, it will give us an answer of 9 over here. Then we need to take 20 minus 9, which will give us 11. So that's an extra step. Okay, now after using the assumption method, you should always check your answer, because only in assumption it is really easy to check. So we should check our answer by taking 11 times 15, which is $165. Why do I do this? 11, because we know that there are 11 big cars now. So we just take 11 times the cost of the big car, which will give us $165. And now you take 20 minus 11 to find the number of small cars, which will give us 9. Then you take 9 times $10. Each small car is $10, right, for washing it, which will give us $90. And now by checking it, we should get $255 by adding both of these. Okay, so it will give us $255. So the answer is 11. So this is double checked, okay? So this is correct. So we know that the answer is 11, okay? So for part B, the answer is 11. So I hope you understand my explanation for question 11, part A and B. And I hope you have learned how to use the assumption method properly instead of doing guess and check. Thank you and bye-bye. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!